Time for what has become my favorite part of the show. Why would he say that shit? And I have been using these as to attack certain things said, but as we start these off, I think there's also just certain takes that have existed in the ethos that we really need to just all look at and go, why? You know what opinion, maybe this sounds mean, that I don't think you should be able to have, or I'm just going to question it severely. It's the opinion, and sorry, Danny Parkins, you are the guy. You put out your top 10 quarterback list. You're filling in for the herd for these next couple days. Congrats. Justin Herbert being a top 5 quarterback. So if you've been listening to me over the last couple of weeks, I've been saying we need to, at what point do we separate talent and skill, which obviously matter, versus actual on-field production? And then I kind of segued from that to when do we separate a college evaluation to what guys do in the pros? Justin Herbert looks the part. We all know this. He's the right height. He has the arm. He has mobility. He has accuracy. He is everything that if you're, a Mel Kiper wet dream, the perfect quarterback prospect. But so was Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence, ask most people, was a far better prospect than Justin Herbert. So, ask yourself, why should he be in the top 5? Because we know number 1 is because Mahomes is number 1, and that's because he has the best resume of accomplishments, personal and team, and the skill talent factor to coincide with it. Has the rocket arm. He has mobility. He's got all the Super Bowls. He's got MVPs, all that stuff. 2 and 3, well, I think there should be a little more of a conversation. I think Allen has kind of secured the 2 spot, even though I feel like Lamar has every right to the 2 spot. That these guys have MVPs. These guys have the arm talent, running, throwing, just incredible athletes, incredible players. Their talent and skill is there, along with multiple division titles for both of them. Again, multiple MVPs for both of them. And then there's Joe Burrow, who maybe gets a little too much credit for it. That's valid. But having one of the few playoff wins against Patrick Mahomes during this run of his, that does hold a lot of weight, even though people like me have said we need to slow down a little bit. Again, we got back-to-back years missing the playoffs. But Burrow's there. And I'm not even including who I think should be in there, just Matthew Stafford. And then a guy who's obviously has the argument of the offseason is Jalen Hurts. Been to 2 Super Bowls. Arguably, you could say he outplayed Mahomes in both Super Bowls. He went 1-1. So he's got that win against Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He's got all these wins stacked up. He's got the ring. No, he doesn't have an MVP. He's not the flashiest, but he does have an offense and a signature play unto himself. So Jalen has a really strong argument right now for number 5. And then there's Jaden Daniels, who also has a strong argument because our first time seeing him, he performed top 5-ish, even getting his team that nobody thought could be there. When you go from the 2nd overall pick in the draft to an NFC Championship game appearance, that is huge. And when it's powered by your rookie quarterback, that is also huge and an amazing accomplishment. Now, I don't think necessarily 1 year surpasses a guy who I do think has multiple great years, but let's be clear here. I just got through 6-7 names, and I'm not sure if Herbert's next. I'm not sure if Herbert is next, unless it's just the aesthetics. You want the aesthetics of your quarterback to look a certain way? Fine. But I'm not even sure if I would say Herbert definitively is better than Baker Mayfield. Go look at Baker's number the last couple of years, and then go compare him to Herbert's. They're both number 1 overall picks. No, Baker's not as tall as Herbert. Arm's not quite as strong as Herbert's. But he's got the numbers. He's got the production. And secondly, and this is really where I don't believe that because you win a Super Bowl, you're automatically better than every quarterback who hasn't won a Super Bowl. Go listen back to last week. I defended the hell out of Cam Newton, and I will still say Cam Newton in his prime is better than Jalen Hurts as currently constructed. Not saying Jalen won't have a better career or stack up more accomplishments, but I know what I saw when I saw 2015 Cam Newton. So I don't think you have to have a title to say, oh, that's why you're definitively better. But you do need some accolades. You need some things on your resume. You also can't have what I call just this, like, you can't have such horrible asterisks on your resume. I am going to view them differently. Justin Herbert isn't just 0-2 in the playoffs. There's a lot of guys in the NFL that are 0-2. There's a lot of guys who have bad playoff records who I would say are better than people with either comparable or even better playoff records than them. But when your 2 playoff losses are a 4 interception game in a season that the thing that was supposed to keep you top 5-ish is your lack of interceptions and how you just don't make turnovers. And then your first playoff loss is a game where they score 38. It's 30 and answer. Do they flip to score 30? And like, you were up 30 and then lose that playoff game. Sorry, that's different than just being 0-2. I think Alex Smith has pre-Jim Harbaugh was like an 0-3 record, or without Jim, sorry, Alex Smith outside of when he was with Jim Harbaugh on the 49ers, I think his playoff record was like 1-4, 2-4, something like that, right? But we didn't kill Alex Smith the same way because we had comparables like Dak Prescott, who's 2-4 on the playoffs, but Dak's wins or his losses are noticeable. They are bad losses. Can't get the playoff in time. The Zeke snapping the football. The game that we all loved Dak in real time for was just the classic he lost against Aaron Rodgers, and it was like, A-man rookie, 13 wins Cowboys team. You just clap it up for him. He lost to an all-time great. So playoff losses, playoff wins, be damned. Your record, it's why I don't confide to the whole, well, the numbers tell the story or your resume entirely tells the story. Because Herbert's 0-2 is not everybody else's 0-2. Let's be clear. So Herbert blowing a 30-point lead, throwing 4 interceptions in a game, respectfully, I think puts you out of the top 5 quarterback class. To the amazing, astounding rookie who came onto the scene last year in Jaden Daniels, Stafford and Hurts, who Super Bowls in these last couple of years. Hurts, Hurts has the best argument right now currently with all the traction he's been gaining. And then the 4 that everybody else is going to put up there, Burrow, Lamar, Allen, Mahomes. Justin Herbert can't be a top 5 quarterback. With all due respect, Justin Herbert cannot be a top 5 quarterback until he proves it just mildly in a playoff game. Just mildly. Could you imagine? And Lamar's playoff stats aren't the greatest, obviously. But could you imagine what people would say and call Lamar Jackson if his first 2 playoff games were what Justin Herbert did? Also, as a little continuation for why would he say that? Jim Harbaugh, you do know you coach 53 guys, right? So when you just spend all this time, and I get it, you gotta elevate Justin Herbert, you gotta pick him up, he's your quarterback, he's your franchise, cool. When all you say, or at least all I hear you say, is, oh yeah, the problem with Justin Herbert is the rest of us. Well, we all got to be better. He's already great. He's already the man. He's already the all-timer. Ask yourself, 53 other guys there. I get bigging up your quarterback, but can we get some love for some other people? I mean, if you want to be a part of one of the coolest, most unique communities, don't forget to like and subscribe.